You might be a crypto holder out there right now. You might be kind of like twiddling your thumbs, waiting, wondering, are altcoins in particular going to ever break out? What is going on the short term? Ethereum charts right now in the short term give an incredible insight into what might be next. There's some caution here. I want to point that out. It's caution, maybe even for the bulls, but there's way larger, way bigger caution for the bears right now on the macro. And that's what this game is all about for me. I'm a macro-minded value investor in the crypto space, but what is happening right now, it's the beginning of something massive. And really, just to jump right into the video, hit the subscribe on the way in. I want to show you this very quick clip from almost 2 months ago, the end of March, March 31st. Look at this right now here. Looking for something I've been talking about for weeks now. I'm looking for the pullback for Ethereum. And maybe we go lower on these charts. We just talked about it on ADA. We might go lower and start really testing bear market lows. Like $1,000 to $1,500 is really in play. That was $1,800. I don't know if you remember, it was terrible environment for Ethereum and for crypto. And look where Ethereum actually did bottom out, like $1,400-ish, right? So that $1,000 to $1,500 range, it played out. But remember, if you were here, just remember, visualize all of the fear, the negativity, everything that was going on. It's all game over. It was game over. But no, this was this was a multi-year opportunity, an opportunity that does not come, every month. This takes years for these setups. So let's finish this clip. Check this out, and then we're really going to dive into the analysis. For Ethereum. But right now, the first week of April, as we're looking for a potential bounce in these markets, I'm still looking for and waiting for a pullback, specifically to the 200-day moving average. It's around 2,400, and this lower trend line of this massive triangle, and that is sitting right now around 27 to 2,800. Look at this. So all the mass fear, everything that was happening right now, Ethereum has bounced to this area around 100%, exactly to the area. Just such a nice technical move. And the reason I'm bringing this up, and we're really going to zoom in just a moment, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we got 100% move, and we are at clear resistance. What is happening right now as we start zooming in, it's so normal to just stall out, to get resistance, and potentially to get volatility and a dip to the downside. So if you're a macro-minded investor, if you're looking at the zoomed in charts, it's fine. I do all the time, but please keep in mind the technical moves that are happening right now. Keep in mind the technical resistance that is happening right now. And so it is very important to zoom out. I saw this post from itrustcapital. They posted this yesterday. Zoom out, then zoom out again. And I can't stress that enough. And it's just a very nice segue too to shout out itrustcapital, the sponsor of today's video. If you don't have an itrustcapital account, if you're a macro investor, at the very least, go set up an account very quickly. It takes minutes, and you can start exploring and visiting this idea of having a crypto IRA, being able to trade on the macro within your crypto IRA, tax-free, just all these tax advantages. You can do it 24/7. There's no monthly fees. So just get in here, and they have a ton of just great insights and articles on their website about, the benefits of IRAs. $13 billion in transactions and 200,000 plus accounts. They've been a long-term sponsor on the Crypto Capital Venture channel. And, I think they are one of the best products in crypto for macro investors because of the advantages that lie within their product. So go get set up, hit the link below. And I just appreciate itrustcapital for sponsoring this video. Let's dive into this analysis though. We looked at the macro, we looked at the pullback, we noted the resistance that we're at. It is normal. Even the confluent resistance at that trend line around 2,700 and the 50-week moving average in blue. It's normal. Let's talk about Ethereum now on the short term that we're here at this resistance. Look at it. It's crazy. First thing I notice is we do have kind of this setup, right? It looks very much like an ascending triangle. And right now, the lower end of the triangle, this isn't perfect. This is a daily chart. Depends how you chart this. Maybe on a 6-hour or a 4-hour might look a little different. But $2,500. So we're going to talk about a more bearish environment on the short term. But at the very least, I think it's good just to even watch the 20-day moving average at 2,500 and, or, you know, just above 2,500, and this lower trend line very slightly below that area. Maybe Ethereum does dip to that area, but maybe we put in a higher low and we actually, this turns into a bullish breakout. And I want to point out, you know, in terms of the momentum of Ethereum, if we look at this on the daily, this is where we can start maybe looking for some caution. It's kind of like we kind of have this, you know, you can even see this higher high right now in price and that big rejection, but we do have a little bit of bearish divergence on the daily chart. So I'm saying this is caution because that could be a signal that Ethereum might actually start dipping to a lower, you know, a target, to a higher low area. Right now is around $2,100 to $2,200. But I want to point out to you, we just had the 20-day crossing above the 50. A throwback in between these areas, between these two moving averages, is normal. And it would be very nice to pull into the 20 and continue higher, and we might. But a pullback and a breakdown in between these moving averages, maybe to test the 50, it's normal. And so it's something to anticipate. And I found something interesting, and it actually ties into, we've covered a lot of the risk model for Ethereum lately, and our risk model right now in our system is around 40. Right now at a hold, but you can just get a sense of where we are in the cycles. You can see it does not appear, if you look at previous cycles, it does not appear like an Ethereum bull market has occurred yet. But what I want to point to your attention is this area back here, this swing high in Ethereum, out of that COVID swing low, and then boom, this dip right here into the 30s from a risk score perspective. Because I'm going to show you a very similar setup that we're looking at right now in the daily chart on Ethereum now, and I want to show it to you back then in the August 2020 move. You can see Ethereum really getting a nice breakout, right? Something similar that we just experienced, putting in these higher highs on price. Check out what happened on the RSI. It was showing bearish divergence. It's kind of similar to what we're seeing right now. And then, boom, Ethereum price fell from like almost $500, like 485 to 310, a very big dip for Ethereum. So if we're actually looking at this was a 36% dip or so, 36% dip. And guess what? I'm sure there was so much fear in that move, and it was like game over, it's over. And guess what? That was the bottom before actually the parabolic bull run. So I'm bringing that up because right now on the current daily chart for Ethereum, we might see a similar move, not even as volatile. If you look at the target, from where Ethereum is trading right now, the target is like a 20% move. People, I'm sure, will be not happy. It will be kind of probably headlines, bear markets starting or something like that. But I want to just point to your attention. This is what happened last cycle when even the risk score for Ethereum was at a very similar level. So this very heavily ties into not just Ethereum, but all of altcoins. And right now, I've been talking about this a lot. It's still sitting at a 24. The altcoin market cap long-term risk score, the altcoin bull market, signaling that it has not occurred yet. It has not started yet. And on the short term, I think Ethereum just painting a picture, there might be some downside, higher low in play. We have to let it play out. There's absolutely no other option, especially for macro people that are just like, you're just on the macro. You're not necessarily even trading all of this on the short term. To the upside, I want to point out if Ethereum, maybe today, I don't know, just all of a sudden just starts breaking to the upside, this 200-day moving average at this trend line area is right at 2,700. Look at the resistance on the current daily candle. If Ethereum could start breaking and closing candles above that area, we might be onto something, everybody. Maybe that happens. Maybe it doesn't happen today, but maybe it happens tomorrow or in a couple of days. If Ethereum starts breaking out, start paying attention. In terms of this cycle, I'll kind of end with this. By the way, the target to the upside out of that triangle is around $3,200. Whether this happens now, right? We start breaking out now. Ethereum falls down here and then makes a move. I think Ethereum is going to be breaking back into the apex of this triangle. We're going to continue, especially now. There's absolutely no guarantee that happens. It's just an opinion, right? I have no idea if it will happen. I'm prepared either way, but we're at resistance, and I'm personally letting this play out. And for me, I'm not like some crazy Ethereum holder, as you know, but I'm using this as a very nice roadmap for altcoins in general and for the cycle in general. And I'm using this as a very massive indicator on all of these charts. So these are my thoughts today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe. I appreciate you cruising through. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.